LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.
Yellow is a monster, Tom!
Welcome back to the StarSeries I-League Finals Season 4. My name is Hugo. Joining me today is Vendetta, and we've got a big match coming up next. It is going to be the 1-0 winners bracket, so obviously SK versus mousesports, an important game. And I mean, let's just jump right into this. What are we expecting to see coming out from this match?
I mean, obviously a bit of a closer matchup than what we saw SK at least have in their first round. But yeah, just two very good teams overall. SK obviously, no need for an introduction really. Former major champions and so on. Now finally playing with their full lineup again. And for mousesports, one of the really, I guess, late bloomers of 2017 in that sense. Obviously, they had some success. In October and outward on, from Mykonos and so on with their roster, and just been a very solid team for the better part of 6 months. And it's showing. They're gradually just getting better and better, which is really fun to see. So I'm expecting them to, really put it to SK and give them a solid match here.
Yeah, and one thing that we can talk about especially is map pools, right? Looking at these two teams, they share maps in the sense of Mirage, Inferno. This is kind of what we're expecting to see. I think this is going to probably go 3 maps in my opinion. But before we have a little bit more of a talk of this, let's have a look at the interview with a member from SK with Parla.
Hello everybody, I'm here with Taco from SK. Now, I did speak to you after your game yesterday, but if you could recap everybody on how that matchup went against MVP Carnal.
I just told people how beautiful you are, like all black. I'm kidding. The match against MVP was the first match for us of the tournament. It was a little shaky in the second map. The first one was really good for us, was a huge result in a map that we feel comfortable now to play. In the last tournaments we were struggling on Inferno, but we did practice a lot this week, this map, so now we are feeling really comfortable to play this map, sorry. And I'm just looking forward to play against Mouse now.
Yeah, exactly, and tell us a bit about that. You're about to play Mouse. they've had a pretty good showing so far in the tournament. They had to battle through one map that was an overtime. And so what are your thoughts in general about them?
About mousesports, our record against them is really good. We won against them many times already. We know the style they like to play as well. So I think it's a really good matchup for us. We are happy that we are facing them.
All right, so you're confident after this you're going to be 2-0?
Yes, I'm confident that I can't say it's going to be 2-0, but I'm really confident that we can beat them 2-0.
All right, well, I meant you're confident after the match you'll be 2-0, as in you're confident you'll beat mousesports?
Yes, I'm really confident that we can beat mousesports and we can win this tournament. I'm really confident that we can win the tournament, not only against mousesports.
There we go. Pure confidence coming from Taco. Thank you very much. Epitasio, best of luck.
Thank you, Paula.
Well, either way, we're going to be jumping into this very shortly, but that is, of course, Taco from SK, and now we're going to look at the roster and obviously the team. You all know them, you all love them, SK Gaming. They just obviously took a 2-0 versus MVP yesterday. A bit of a domination, I would say, especially on that first map, and here are some highlights from that as well. Yeah, and obviously we got to see Fert finally having a good performance. He's been in a bit of a rut the last couple of months, so good to see him starting off a tournament in a strong manner. And obviously it was fairly one-sided, although we did talk about how MVP kind of looked fairly decent. They kind of showed that in their second matchup today, and the match that just happened versus Virtus Pro. But here you go, the lineup. Cold Zero, Taco, Fallen, Fur, and Bolts at the end there, finally able to gather all 5 in one place. No tournaments, restricting them from playing with their actual lineup. Yep. It took a while, but here they finally are. Obviously, they have... even with the short time they've played with Bolts, managed to rack up a couple of tournaments. So it's not like they're an untested team by any means. And I would together with FaZe, put them as the biggest favorites, honestly, for the entire tournament, even with the shaky results they've had as of late. Yeah, I mean, these two teams have been battling for best team in the world in the sense of SK and FaZe, back and forth, mainly in the favor of SK, obviously. But as you say it yourself, a bit shaky recently for some of the players, or the team in general, obviously coming off of a top 4 at the E-League Major as well, losing to Cloud9, who eventually went and won the Major. So no shame in losing to them. Yeah, of course. We were hoping to see an SK FaZe final, but I would say the Cloud9 FaZe final definitely did it justice either way. Yeah. And going through the roster now of SK, of course, I feel like most people are going to come into this one and expect them to win. Whether it goes to 3 maps or not, I think that's the question. Yeah, no, I think that's the big one as well. It's going to be interesting to see, how the map veto pans out. You talked about how there's a lot of overlapping maps for these two sides. In the past, that has favored SK, but then again, I think it's fair to say that SK were at a better stage, I guess, in terms of form than mousesports were. And mousesports have made quite the progress since they really had a lot of bouts, because it goes all the way outside of the one map they played at the Major. It goes back all the way to Mykonos since they last time played each other. So obviously mousesports have taken quite a lot of strides really into improving since then. I mean, we saw them closing out the year with a second place at ECS, obviously being faced to the very brink of it, and obviously just playing well in general. So it's going to be a difficult task for SK to go up against, but I still think it's fair to say that they are favorites. Then I'm actually leaning more towards a 2-0, but obviously they could change depending on how the map turns out. But yeah, like 2-0 is in my head, at least initially looking at these teams. Yeah, definitely right. It just depends, does mousesports come in with anything new? Do they surprise us again? I feel like very expecting to see Mirage in this pool, and definitely. I think that's the only place. If this is going to 3 maps, mousesports need to take Mirage if that does come into play, because that is obviously their best map at least, and that's a map that we've seen them take a lot away from a lot of top teams. And obviously, while we didn't see them go too far in the major playoffs, they actually did very well in the Swiss system. They made it through both the qualifiers and through the group stage of the actual major. But talking of Mouse, let's have a look at an interview again with Parla.
What is up, everybody? I'm here with Martin, the famous Martin from Life of Martin. We're currently in Season 5. Of course, he plays for mousesports as well, lesser known fact. Good to see you. You beat Virtus Pro in a hard-fought best-of-3, had an overtime. Tell us about that matchup.
We felt confident going into the matchup. Virtus.pro is the team that we practice pretty much a lot, and we kind of get a groove on their game, and they get the groove on our game as well. Obviously, that's why they won the cobblestone, which we like threw away kind of, but we managed to come back and crawl back on the other two maps. So it was all good, but all in all, pretty good match. I hope we are prepared for the next one.
What do you learn from a matchup like that, and then apply into your matchups going forward?
We just kind of realized that we have to be 100% focused no matter what. Even if the enemy team is on the eco round, force by round, we have to be extra careful and doing things that we prepared, that we practiced. So, I mean, we just kind of realized that we have to play our game more than trying to adapt and anti-strat the other team.
And now you're about to play against SK, fierce competition. Give me just a general opinion on them as a team and how you guys compare to them.
Well, obviously they didn't have a good run at CS Summit lately, which was last tournament for them. But at the on the other hand, we are coming into the matchup as an underdog. I feel like they will be having upper hand in terms of map pool, so it will be really hard. Best of 3 series. I imagine it will go probably to all 3 maps, and hopefully with a little bit of luck we can overcome it and eventually win the match.
All right, well, thank you so much, Martin. And remember, guys, head down to your local VHS store. Life of Martin Season 5, coming soon.
Yeah, the best manager is right here, so he's taking care of everything. I'm just doing my part, you know. The job is easy when you have a manager like this.
I love you, bro.
I'll definitely be picking up my copy of Life of Martin, but
Definitely. The 4 first season have been excellent.
yeah, I mean, just top reviews so far. Obviously, that was Stiko with Parla, the latest addition to mousesports. And I definitely say a good addition as well. Obviously, coming from Hellraisers and a very strong player as well. He's been taking up more of a supportive role on this team. It's been nice to see, obviously. A lot of firepower on this roster. That's something we have to take into account, isn't it?
Absolutely, and obviously there's been quite a few changes in terms, not just in terms of new faces, but also new roles for a lot of these players. Obviously, Chris J has been the in-game leader for a bit of time now, but I've actually been very, very positively surprised by how well he's done and how he's been able to maintain his fragging, if not just improve it straight up ever since he changed to that role. So I think that's been a massive plus for them. I think Sunny has kind of crept out of the shadows of Oscar as well. We've seen him multiple times just being the one leading the scoreboard for them, especially on a map like Mirage, and we talked about how that's a very big likelihood of seeing that eventually. And then the big dog himself, Oscar, the man with the green rifle, who's going to have to be instrumental in this matchup. If mousesports is going to have a shot at this, he's going to have to go toe-to-toe with Fallen. And then to close it out, Stiko and Robs. Robs, obviously, a lot, very talked about being one of the biggest talents in, well, probably the entire world within CS. So it's very cool to see that all of these guys have kind of come together and meshed very quickly as well, even with the changes. Because I think a lot of people just spelled immediate doom as soon as Nico left that team when we started seeing all these roster changes happening. But they've definitely landed on their feet and become a solidified top 10 team, and I think they're just going to and gradually increase and get better and better.
Yeah, regardless of this matchup, I'm fairly confident that mousesports should be making it to the playoffs here. Obviously, in the best of 3 format, there's less potential for upset, which means in a game like this, when they're up against SK, maybe we won't see them take this one. But overall, across the broad scheme, they should be able to fight their way through. We've seen them to make it to grand finals. Obviously, in ECS, win one in Mykonos. This team has been very, very strong. So you can't sleep on this team by any means. And going into this matchup, there's a really good potential. Obviously, like you said, Rops, a huge talent for this team, one of the fastest rising pro players ever. I would say, coming from FPL, and in the space 6 months later, he's playing in a major. That's a huge story.
Yeah, that was pretty much Sierra's career put on fast forward.
Yeah.
But it's really fun to see, and obviously, oftentimes you kind of expect rookies to get frustrated when they get thrown into the deep end, but he's been handling himself extremely well. Here we go, the veto for the matchup today, and mousesports going with an overpass ban. Usually they like to veto cash, but understandable that they want to remove overpass when they're going up against SK. SK on their end going to ban out Nuke immediately, which is pretty much their go-to ban in every single situation. And that leaves Mirage open to be picked for mousesports. And you mentioned it. It has been kind of a mainstay whenever these two teams have butted heads, and that's going to be a continuing trend as well. Cobblestone for SK as well. I think that's probably the best they could have made out of the situation.
Yep.
Obviously, they have lent themselves towards playing Inferno quite a bit in the last couple of tournaments, but I don't think we could ever say that SK have been an extremely comfortable team on Inferno, at least when they go up against higher tier teams.
Well, that's exactly what Taco just said, right? Let's just think back to the interview just minutes prior. You know, he was saying they have been struggling on this map. You know, this is a problem they have, and in a map that's so widely not only picked but also seen, especially as the third map in Best of 3 series. I mean, that's the classic map, right? You need to sharpen up on that map, and they said they've been doing practice. So if we do make it to 3 maps, that will be an interesting one. But we're starting off on Mirage. We're going to be jumping right into it. SK kicking things off on the CT side after taking that knife round, and mousesports on the T side. A big matchup here. mousesports map pick, their opportunity to bring this to 3 maps in our opinion.
Yeah. And I'm actually kind of sad that SK win the knife round, because one of my favorite teams actually to watch on Mirage, and especially if we're talking about specific sides, is mousesports on that CT side, because we talk about how it's nice to change up your setups every now and again, throw in some aggression on the CT side. mousesports just kind of taking that to the next level.
And Rob's just decimated Fallen in the window with a P250, and off that, mousesports are going to run into B site on this pistol. Cold Zero playing bait, they won't check the corner. Stiko jumps round, great shot, and now with a double make it triple entry here for mousesports onto the bomb site. Bolts is going to be the last man up.
Yeah. Even, just straight up executed. Very efficient round from mousesports there. Not a whole lot of bullets used, actually. As you mentioned, Fallen just going down immediately to the window, or in the window to Robster with the P250. And we're seeing more and more teams do that. You know, FaZe do it with Rain, for instance. That kind of thing. Just getting that P250 that's so accurate when you're obviously doing single taps, not just like wildly spraying around on long distances.
Yeah, it's so easy to just negate mid, right, when you're on this T side with Glocks. You know, most teams don't really want to go towards it on these pistol rounds, but that's certainly a way to spice things up. And now we've got pistols in the hand of SK. Deagles, in fact, Fur, trying to pot shots off onto Sunny in middle as mousesports take control. The smoke will be going down. mousesports just trying to get mid control here, but with a default setup, they can split up through short to B or even connector to A.
Obviously, we talked about this a lot, how mid control is kind of the staple of how to play Mirage when we saw Ty Lu play this yesterday, and they just kind of went completely away from anything resembling that. Didn't really amount to too many rounds either, so it's good to see that mousesports are still sticking to the tried and true. For now, obviously, we've seen actually quite a few teams in this tournament and also during the major having massive issues dealing with anti-ecos, more so than usual. And, as I say that, Fur finds the first frag onto Christian mid. And obviously, it's an ever-going quest kind of for all these teams to figure out what's the optimal way to approach these anti-eco rounds. And nobody really seems to have a good answer for it. Obviously, you want to have long range, but still CZs and Deagles work pretty nicely on long range as well. Don't want to get into close quarter combats, but you have to make it to a bomb site.
It's like that mix-up between we want to make money with SMGs and we also want long-range fights, and you can't have the both. So that's why we see so many upsets on the forces. But SK, they're trying. They've got damage off onto Sunny, and with that first pick as well, it will be traded. Bolts under the palace. He's going to find Stiko. Bomb dropped in the open. mousesports need to retrieve that now. Time is ticking away. 15 seconds left on the clock, and Rops luckily is going to come save the day. 2 headshots out of the palace. I think SK are going to be forced out of this one. Taco dead and Fallen just spamming with a P250. He's got no armor, but damage done to mousesports.
Damage done. Unfortunate for SK that they aren't able to take down that third player as well. Rob's going very low on HP, but he definitely became the savior over that round coming out of apps, finding those 2 headshots. Otherwise, it would have been a golden opportunity for SK to literally just sack one of their players. They had 2 towards CT spawn, 1 behind ticket, and obviously Fur gets taken down by Robs. If Robs just doesn't connect immediately on those shots, it's going to be so much tougher for mousesports to actually have a safe way of getting down that bomb plant. Time running low as well. That could be a real disaster. And instead, we're going to see the full eco coming out from SK. Not a single pistol bot, actually. But we're seeing a full B stack. And already Sunny's making his way up towards A. So he's going to be able to clear this out for mousesports. And that's probably why you're seeing Oscar falling back from this B apps bomb following suit as well, already in T-spawn.
Yeah, these pistol rounds are so hard to get anything done with full USPs. So common you see a stack of 50-50 here for SK, and the wrong side of the coin found is, as you say, Sunny opens up the A bomb site, mousesports have that full rotate, bomb plant comes down, and SK, they're on the wrong side of the map here. The question is, do we go for exits or do we hide so we don't give money away to these SMGs? Because look at Sunny, he's already chasing, just trying to make cash. $600 reward with that Mac 10, so SK need to be very careful. They hold on, waiting for mousesports to chase them, hoping they can overwhelm them the amount of players they have on this bomb site, but mousesports, they want to make some money.
That's actually very underrated fact that you bring up there, that teams don't necessarily always consider the fact that, even though you're not losing anything because you haven't bought any weapons, you're giving away a ton of money and allowing your opponents to build a ton of bank. I wouldn't say this is worth it for everyone who doesn't have an SMG, which would be pretty much everyone on that side, aside from Stiko and Sunny. Because if you lose an AK, all of a sudden you're not getting a whole lot out of it, and it becomes more expensive for you than what you've would have gained from just getting a couple of AK kills, unless it's the SMG grabbing pretty much everything.
And while it doesn't matter in this map specifically with the buy mousesports have, but it can be, quite a mind gamey for SK to try and hide. So mousesports actually run the bonus round, so they keep SMGs in play, take it into this first buy, and then say have 2-3 UMPs, and SK have rifles, and that gives them a lot more confidence. But it doesn't matter. We do still have the Mac 10 on Sunny, but the AWP is out for either side. Armorless on Fallen, but Oscar, he's fully equipped here. So bit of an early progress up towards B here for mousesports. Taco looking to challenge. We got a flash in, and Oscar just hiding around the corner, so not giving anything away just yet. Taco's going to look to take control. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to get away with this fight. Surely Oscar goes down here. Taco does the damage, and while he receives a hell of a lot as well, he'll fall back to the site. Chris J, knowing this man's tag, tries to trade, but he's got to be very careful, because if he goes down here, that's a 2-man advantage taken by SK, and there we have it.
Yeah, Chris J just having his blinders on, very eager to find Taco there, obviously knowing that he's very low on HP. But SK with a solid setup there. Cold Zero to have Taco's back the entire time. And that leaves mousesports in a bit of a pickle.
Ooh.
Great pop flash there. And even though Sunny manages to find Fur on the opposite side of the map, it's not going to do a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. Does pick up the op on, I guess, the dead body of Oscar, but not exactly renowned as an opper.
I mean, he's been there. He's tried it back in Ent, but he said he didn't really like AWPing, so interesting to see if they can get anything done with this. Bolts is going to still be aggressive on ramp after that pick, and he chases down Stiko, but with the bomb, he stays alive, and that's important because 30 seconds left. If Stiko goes down there, the round's over, but now there's certainly an opportunity. Bit of utility left on mousesports. If they can get the CT smoked off and negate Fallen's AWP, maybe mousesports can get into this bomb site. Smoke for the plant. Sunny looking for the pick, but Fallen plays reserved. He's waiting for some form of information, some form of sound, or his teammate to rotate in. Here's the plant. Looks for the shot, but he won't get it. Now Stiko can move into the post plant. The big question mark here is Taco. He's coming in from the back line. And SK, they're playing so reserved. They're not giving a pick away to mousesports. Mousesports have to expect the back line at this point. Sunny spots the cross from Cold Zero, but does Stiko expect the flank? It's actually going all the way round to Palace. That's why SK are playing so slowly. Sunny damage to Fallen, but he's still being flanked. And oh my god, the Deeg flicks back to the head of Taco. And now we have a 2v2. SK have wasted all this time waiting for the flank, and it's found nothing.
Well, Fallen is on the defuse. Oh, it's going to get picked off by Stiko as well. Cold not having his back at all. And they're just going to have to give up on this round. So yeah, of 2v4, somehow goes the way of mousesports. And that's off of, well, some pretty basic mistakes from SK. Obviously, Taco should be able to win that duel out with Sunny once he comes in from behind an Appstar. But even before that, they're up to 4v2. Yeah, there's a flash for, Bolts gets the initial pick with the pop flash in towards Pits. That's more than fine enough. At that point, you can fall back, play the site, just stick together with Fallen, so he has an opportunity to trade for you if you go down. Instead, Bolts just kind of, by his own means, goes aggressive, gives away a kill to Stiko, and that allows for mousesports to get on the site.
Great start.
Great start from mousesports. Shaky from the Brazilians, though.
Well, how much further will this go? We have pistols in play. Obviously, the saved M4 on Cold.
Scout bot up on Fallen as well. Still leaves him in a position where he will be able to buy up in the next round, so not going to be the end of the world. You can see mousesports once more. Just setting up for basic mid control here.
Yeah, and in this kind of round, you're expecting to see maybe some aggression from SK, a pick trying to be forced. A 5-on-4 can be obviously favourable, but nothing's really coming out. We've just got fairly standard setups. They give up mid, but they have the crossfire between Fallen and Fur with the Deagle and Scout combo.
And then if mousesports are too slow to actually move up here and aren't necessarily using their utility to the full potential, then there's a lot of opportunities for Fallen to get just tag damage. He doesn't necessarily have to get the kill, because obviously it does 70 plus damage, which leaves them extremely vulnerable to these pistols on the side of SK.
Smoke down, Fuller misses a shot, that's awkward. Has to run back as mousesports charge up short, but Sunny, the one player who was tagged earlier, going to get finished off. One picked the way of SK, but traded by mousesports. Deagle on the site from Taco will connect. Stiko dead, and Oscar, he's got to stay alive because now Chris J is coming in from the backlines to clear up the B site. Fur finished off by Rops with a double entry, and Cold Zero, an off angle with the M4, the saved weapon, and he finds 2 kills. Back into a 1v1, and Oscar sitting on 2 kills. 15 seconds left for this bomb plant. Cold Zero wait for the noise. And Oscar, he's going to need to commit to it here. He can't afford to fake too many times because he's just running out of time. Jumps on the bomb, sticks it. Cold Zero holds the cross in case he runs towards short, but he falls back more passive. If Cold Zero finds this, this would be a ridiculous round for SK to win considering what they had in the round. Cold Zero just trying to find the timing. Oscar moves towards bench, and now, while he knows he's at least somewhere on the site, he has no information as to where Oscar's posted up. Close with the Deagle, waiting for the angle, but Cold Zero finds it. And SK, what a round to pick up.
Yeah, what a round indeed, and it's off of the back of obviously Fallen being able to tag Sunny twice, and then Taco somehow winning out the duel when he's kind of stuck on site between Molotovs and a whole lot of mousesports players. Finding that one frag just makes all the difference. Allows for Cold Zero to get into spot in kitchen, find 2 frags for himself initially. And obviously the 1v1, Cold Zero, excellent player at closing out rounds. And actually kind of surprised by the fact that Oscar didn't actually opt to go for his op. Normally known as a player who doesn't necessarily shy away from close combat opping. So I kind of have to imagine that it's down to the fact that he didn't want to give any sound cues away to Cold Zero with scoping in on that op.
Yeah, you give Cold Zero just 1 millisecond to react. You're probably going to die.
It doesn't work out though. This time, Oscar already scoped in, so doesn't have to worry about any sound noise or sound cues. Still smoke in the way, and very close range for right behind that smoke. Meanwhile, though, in mid, seeing mousesports again being given control. SK seeming perfectly fine and content with just giving up all this mid control. And up to this point, we haven't necessarily seen mousesports being able to make the most out of it either. That's probably why they continue with this approach. First, going to get even more aggressive here.
I like that combo as well. Deep Molotov and then the flash to pop him in. So if anyone's caught, not only are they blinded, but they can't run back. But Oscar, he runs forward to the face of Fur and he'll get the entry. So mousesports now sitting with a man advantage. We're going to see SK rotate Cold Zero back towards this A site potentially, although he's slow. And still with his mid-control intact, so we're going to have to see SK worry about that connector. You can see Fallen desperately checking it, make sure mousesports aren't going for that split, but that will be later in the round. They're focusing on just getting out of ramp, but can they get any further? Fallen with the first shot with the AWP. Chris J dead, and mousesports 30 seconds left, no smokes for this bomb site, and they haven't even gotten out of ramp. This is a massive blunder. They need to make their move quickly, and now they're going to call on Sunny to try and find an entry. As he walks up through the connector, Fallen going to again take down Rob. Sunny catches, bolts out of position on the site. And again, mousesports, time low, need to get this bomb down. Cold Zero can just wait for that plant.
Yeah, this is really awkward for mousesports.
That's a round.
Yep. The lack of smokes just makes it impossible for them to get in, and it's a situation they have, they have to realize themselves that because of the lack of utility, you have to move with pace. Otherwise, it's going to be way too easy for SK to just pick them off. You're just going to have to clear out the entire side by firepower. With them pretty much getting stuck by Tetris, the only one really trying to move forward was Chris J, and he gets caught out with no option for a trade on the mousesports end because they were too far down in pit. Leaves SK with a pretty easy round, and that's going to put a pretty significant dent into the economy of mousesports as well. You can see ZZ's coming out. Still another op on Oscar, obviously, with them holding on to that from the previous round. But this is a very important round for mousesports. Don't want to get on the back foot now after that solid start.
Yeah, because not only have SK found 2 in a row, building up a bit of money, but now if they find a third with mousesports forcing things up, they're surely going to get the Antico next round as well. But Taco already picking up 1 kill towards the apps up on B. Oscar's dead, so the AWP dropped. Cold Zero follows up from the bench, but Chris J's darted on the site. Cold Zero as well caught, and Sunny does take him down from the apartment, and now mousesports have the site. The only issue is the bomb, and Fallen posted on the angle. Uncharacteristic miss, and the bomb picked... Oh, not picked back up, sorry. The player up on bench actually bypassed it. Sunny needs to go back and grab it. As Fallen gets a second opportunity, the smoke's down, which covers his angle, and Rops just holds close. CZ is the perfect range for him to try and grab a kill, but Fallen's got support. Even if he finds his frag, surely bolts trades, but no! Fallen hits a shot. And now Sunny in a 1v2. SK fall back with that pick. They don't know if he's gone back towards the A site himself, and now Sunny faking the bomb. Trying to force out an SK player. Bolts is still holding. Fallen's wrapping in the meantime. He's going to go back up through short. And Bolts just missed the angle onto Sunny, so Fallen has no information.
No, I think he actually spotted the arm of Sunny, and that's why he's moving out onto the bomb site now. You can see Fallen is just taking a complete standstill here.
Oh.
Easy kill. So fortune favors SK in that round. Just a couple of inches of Sunny's arm being visible to Bolts there. That's well played as well. He's showing a lot of restraint, and SK have done that so far in a lot of these situations, in retakes or in scenarios where they've lost control over the bomb site. If Bolts gets too aggressive in that scenario, he pretty much makes it impossible for Fallen to win that round with being on solo HP. But again, that initial setup from Taco and coldzera over towards the B bomb site working really nicely, finding 3 picks off of that. Obviously, Taco off the pop flash from coldzera, and then Cold picking up 2 from the bench.
More pistols out for mousesports now, and an A-side attack seems to be the case. No smokes for this. Only flashbangs, and SK are well prepared. Look at the push up towards top mid. Fur's already got all the info. SK know what's about to happen. Fallen, Molotov in, players bursting out of Palace, but Bolts is going to spray them down. Almost 3 kills until Sunny responds, but this round is still going to fall apart here for mousesports. They only have pistols. And SK, 4 rounds on the board.
Yeah, first, the saddest person on the server that round. Runs up mid, doesn't find anyone, tries to run around from T-spawn, doesn't find anyone before the entire mousesports team is dead. Great job from the SK side, not losing any weapons or anything like that, making sure their economy gets a chance to get a little boost, which is going to be very, very handy going further into the game. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully mousesports now will have smokes and whatnot for their eventual bomb take. Now just talking things over. And I don't think mousesports have done anything necessarily wrong outside of that one round where they just kind of get staggered by Tetris, not really able to move up towards the A bomb site due to the lack of smokes. Outside of that, they've had a pretty okay approach as to how they want to go about things. Obviously, SK aren't the easiest team in the world to go up against. Right. So they've done well for themselves. We also have to consider the fact that there's been quite a few close rounds that SK have picked up as well. First one being the solo defuse, and then having a round with 2 players surviving. And Bolts and Fallen's clutch.
Well, we're into another with the double or back in play. Fallen on mid, drops Oscar. Stiko's the first out, but it doesn't matter. Fallen takes 2. With the support coldzera as well, Stiko's going to go down. So mousesports, just seconds in, have already been put down to a 2v5. And while they've won a 2v4, I think this is a little much to ask. Yeah,
this seems a little bit rough. Fallen just getting the perfect timing pretty much, kind of. I'm not sure if it's a conscious choice to ignore the first guy jumping by, or if he just got caught, sleeping at the wheel. But it works out perfectly because it was set up for a bait for Oscar to peek out into mid. Fur with a quick return as well allows for Fallen to reap. He can find that second frag. So even though Rops finds Bolts playing aggressively towards pit, massive advantage here for SK. And Chris J thinking about peering into mid here, but Fallen's already got his eyes locked in. Well, does actually step away for a second here. He does have support from window.
Ooh, does he though? Bit late. The peek from coldzera, and he gets traded out. So Rops now in a 1v3. Bomb down, but for his position and with time left as well, it's all about damage now for Rops. How much can he really do? He's got the AWP to play with, obviously low HP, so got to watch out. Needs to hit that first shot. Taco holding the cross towards short. Fur there for support as well if he does go towards the connector. And Rops just trying to find the angle. Taco's moved out of position and Fur can't quite see him. Rops, he may get a chance to go towards B. Does Fallen know? He has no idea. Moving back in. Rops gets the kill. And now 18 seconds left. Bomb can go down. Still good utility. Ace going to be needed for Rops. Fur tries to play quickly into the site, but Rops has to move out position. Molotov forces him into the open. Taco scoped up with the AWP, giving away his position as well. So an opportunity now for Rops as they start to move together. Fur going to catch him. SK, okay, they take it, but still, again, a 2v5 brought down to a 1v2.
Yeah, mousesports are doing a great job of actually keeping SK honest here. Again, Bolt's kind of giving the initial chance with the aggressive play towards pit there, even when they're up 3 players. And then Rob's having a little bit of luck on his end, being able to actually walk up the entirety of Catwalk, just seeing Taco straight away the second he moves up. Obviously, that could have spelled a really quick end to the round, and obviously no bomb plant either. But, Rob's able to get it done. So that puts quite a bit more cash in the bank of mousesports. No off for Oscar this time around, though, but enough utility to work with here. 5 smokes, 3 Molotovs. Well, let's see though. It's 5 rounds in a row for SK here. Double ops out. So a pretty tough defense to crack through right now, and a bit of a stack here actually as well.
Fallen, a big miss as well. Can't follow up with the no-scope. He'll go down to Chris J. coldzera also dead. Double entry from the man himself. Stiko's going to follow up as well. mousesports have cracked open this A site instantly. Much as how SK shut down the mid control, mousesports have sped up the pace, and now they're going to continue to look for these kills. They don't want SK to save anything into this round. Bomb down. Stiko's already looking towards a connector. His teammates flanking into B. Sunny's in that site. Bolts will catch Oscar, and that's actually the AWP dropped as well that was picked up off the body of Fallen. So SK giving away some idea to where their position means Sunny can easily sneak his way up through short. So Stiko's just baiting here. He doesn't need to take this fight. He knows his teammates coming from the behind. No reason to face against an AWP. And there's the free kill from Sunny. So seeming like no one will be saving apart from Bolts. He gets away with this one. There's the first second as well. Yeah, Bolts moves away. He'll hold on to the M4, but small consolation from SK. mousesports get back on the board, and there we go. Bolts even dead as well. That's a bit of an issue with the money.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Luckily for them, they did have that one round where they were able to kind of save up a little bit in the past in that eco round, surviving with all 5, and that's what's going to allow them to actually purchase into this one. But yeah, the change of pace from mousesports definitely catching SK off guard. Fallen missing, a shot he normally would sink. And even with a 4-man stack pretty much towards that A bomb site from SK, they're just not able to find a return frag at any given point.
Now mousesports back to basics again. It seems like the A site is exactly where they want to hit. Even with no AWP and no weapon on Stiko either, he's limited to the pistol. Yeah. It's going to be Bolts up close this time, not Fallen. Some missed shots so far from Fallen, but we are early days. Smoke's over from mousesports, Fur as well, UMP. So limited weapons, but they're playing at least at the range that they should be good at. Bolt's going to get spammed, and he's got to run away as well. 20 HP. They'll definitely know they hit him there. Stiko can't quite catch the angle. And mousesports, with that as well, they're going to wrap the players back through T-spawn, give up their control towards A. SK have quad rotated towards the site as well, so if mousesports were to dart into B, they'd get it for free.
Well, you say that, but Taco's pushed up aggressively here into apartments. So anyone who would go through these B-ups is going to be in for a bit of a nasty surprise. He does only have an MP9, so it should be possible for mousesports to find a trade, but Taco could do significant damage here if he finds the right timing, especially if Chris J decides to walk further ahead. And he does.
Awkward. Taco. Maybe more? Stiko? Oh, he does trade. That's Sunny as well. Rops is still in the palace though, so he can catch his rotations. There we go. First dead. Fallen's rotated through the market, so 3-on-3 of Fallen. Aggressive as we know and love. Second kill from him. Looking for the third as he's getting wrapped from Stiko, but he's actually got his back turned. Doesn't realize he's out on the site, and Stiko finds that kill. So now the two Ts split up, and both low HP with low time as well. coldzera can confidently take this fight knowing Rops is up in the palace, and he does. That's the bomb dropped, and that should be the round over. I don't see a way back in for Rops. He's going to give it his best chance, but I think the time's too low. Even if he gets his kill on Cold, he's not going to get the time.
Yeah, never going to have the time to plan. And coldzera is just going to make the take the option for him. It's going to be quick death. Very well dealt with from SK's side there. Taco obviously creating a bit of havoc in AFs there. A little bit surprising to see Chris J kind of straying that far off from the rest of the herd.
Yeah,
that allows for an easy pick with no immediate trade. Puts SK back on the board and obviously resets the economy of mousesports, so they're going to have to be on an eco round. Luckily, though, they have enough money in the bank to be able to get an AWP at least next round for mousesports.
They do have 5 rounds on this T side. How many would you say is enough for mousesports really in this kind of matchup? Because obviously it's a map they're confident on that CT side, but it is against SK of all teams.
Yeah, and that's the big worry, right? Normally you would say maybe 7 rounds should be more than enough to work with. But everything becomes, a bit of a question mark when you go up against a team like SK, because they can pretty much fight back from any sort of deficit, and we see it time and time again. It could have been a 13-2.5, and I still would have, had my hopes up for SK that they could fight back. They're just that good of a team. Well, so it's tough to say, but obviously if mousesports can get to 7, they should be okay with how this round turned out, because SK were starting quite a bit of a run there with those 5 straight rounds.
Just one thing to take into account as well is mousesports, yes, they have 5, but 3 of them are off the back of the pistol and the anti-ecos. Yep. So in terms of rifle rounds, yeah, they've got 2, but SK have 6. So
yeah, keep in mind, one of those spy rounds was also the 2v4.
Yeah, so a round that shouldn't have gone their way anyway. SK took a massive advantage early on, but this round, it's pistols, as we know, is mousesports try and hit into middle. That's a bit of a dangerous option to go with just P250s and Glocks, and SK will show them why. Kills coming out from all sides of the board, but mainly the CT. coldzera, another shot, now with just Rops left. This round should be over. Okay, Rops, nice. Don't kill Cold. That would be
there
awkward.
We go.
No.
Got a lot of time on that. Yeah. In any case, first having a bit of a nightmare right now. Sitting at 2-10, definitely not finding his groove. Pretty much the 2 frags we saw was during the second buy round of mousesports, actually. Well, one of them at least, where Fallen got the double kill with the up and mid. Definitely not having the best of games. And one of the problems we've seen SK have is towards the A bomb side, honestly. Whenever they've tried to go aggressive towards pit, the best results they've come out with is a 1-for-1 trade. And obviously it's like they are in positions where they could get that initial frag and then back off from the sites, but they continue to stay aggressive, and that's been punishing them time and time again. But once again, Fer goes down, and well, just in a matter of a second, that's the B bomb site loss as Stiko finds Taco.
Well, you talk about aggression, catching SK off guard and them losing out. Fer just pushed underpass and got caught by Sunny. So mousesports get given a free pick. With that, they go, okay, that's the B player. Let's charge into B. Second entry comes in. Taco has no one to support him because we look at SK on this B site and we think, okay, Taco and Cole just locking it down, having each other's backs. But no, not this round, and SK have to save. So a bit of a blunder from the CT side, it seems. mousesports with a 6th on the board.
Yeah. Definitely not optimal whatsoever. Our first struggles continue. But I think the most important thing, obviously, with the kind of player that Fer is, he can't necessarily start changing up his normal play style, even though it's going rough now, even though mousesports seems to have the upper hand on him. He still needs to continue to make moves like this, because if he starts playing passively, he's not the same threat to the mousesports team. Just the fact that you know that Fer can come aggressive from pretty much every single angle on the map is something that you always need to keep in the back of your head. And the second you slip up, that's when he's going to pounce on you. But mousesports not letting up for right now. Well, they're inching closer, to at least do that 7th round. Still have an opportunity to actually win out the half. Just definitely not a bad trade, especially given SK's economy here. This is going to be kind of a last standby for them. If they lose this round, we're looking at pretty ugly buy going into the final round.
And maybe mousesports, on the cards to get 7 or 8 here in the half. So exactly what they kind of needed. It seems Oscar mollied up in the apps. He can't take down Taco early on this time unless he jumps into this orb shot. Still posted.
And once again, they're leaving Taco completely open here towards this B bomb site. Nobody even remotely close to actually being able to rotate in here. So if Taco dies, this could be a very quick round.
And they got a short as well. Fer's not going to shut them down from the connector, so mousesports, they just charge on up. Stiko gets the entry, the solo B player dead. And this is a round where you're SK and you go, we really can't save, can we? We've got to fight this, because, yeah, of course, it will mean they can buy up next round, but mousesports just given another free one. Off of 1 frag, SK are going to save without even contesting, trying to get a pick and see how it goes, because, you're in a situation where you can take a 1v1 here if you're SK. You lose 1 member, and you save. That's fine. You keep 3 alive. You can buy up next round. But if you, save now, you're removing any option of someone going in and getting 2 mousesports players off guard potentially, and getting yourself back into the round. So a bold move from SK to make, but it is going to come at a price.
Yeah, it definitely comes at a price, but I think it's the fact that they're so far removed from the B bomb site there. So mousesports have all the opportunity in the world to get into afterplan positions and basically have every upper hand as SK needs to try to retake. And obviously they have to expend a ton of utility as well to just get into the point where they can start figuring out where mousesports are playing from. Falling there at the end, obviously not optimal as well, so that removes any hope of an op going into the last rounds.
Definitely not good for SK.
Definitely not, but it is a bit of a gamble peak, and you can understand it given the tendencies that's gone through the T side of mousesports right now. Pretty much the one place they've found immediate success is towards that A bomb site. Maybe a little bit brazen to go with 4 players towards that bomb site that hard, especially when you give up mid control. But giving up mid control, not going to be the case this time around. 2 players from SK already up mid to clear things out. But the remainder of the mousesports team, outside of Oscar, is lurking here towards B, is lurking towards A.
Classic Oscar move, though. He even gets a tag to coldzera. 3 HP before Fer kills him, but now it's the A play. Quick out with no smokes and contact from mousesports. Dangerous, and you can see why. Already 2 players left up here for this T side. They need to pull it back. Smoke towards CT, covers them from Fallen, but not from the spray. Sunny down to 60 HP, and mousesports, they need to get the plant, but Taco wants to challenge Sunny. Bad timing, looks away, and Taco gets back into the round with 2 kills. So SK, they'll take the half in their favor, 8-7, but hey, not a bad half from mousesports to say the very least.
Definitely not. Obviously, they started off winning the pistol, getting those 3, I wouldn't say automatic rounds, but definitely got off to the optimal start there. But yeah, being able to kind of stop SK in their tracks once they got on that 5-round run, definitely much important, because we talk about how good SK are at playing from behind and how they're never really out of the game, but they're also excellent at closing out people and kind of just putting their foot on people's throat once they get the opportunity to do so. So for mousesports to fight back there and put a shake into SK's economy, it's very well done. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of CT side we're going to see from mousesports. I talked about it, as we were starting the game. Really a big fan of watching mousesports play the CT side on Mirage due to their constant aggression. Obviously, you'd like to change things up. So mousesports are one of the teams that lean more towards aggression than the passive play style in this map. And a lot of teams find that extremely hard to deal with, especially if they're pretty heavy on doing defaults in their buy rounds.
Well, SK into their pistol they go. Lots of utility and all of it expended at the start to get them out onto this A site. mousesports play passive for the retake, but Oscar's already started off. Kill with the unsilence USP's taking that off. Dead on Bolt's going to look for more, but SK, they get aggressive. mousesports set up perfectly for a 5-on-4 retake, but now with 2 picks going the way of this Brazilian side, they're into this round. mousesports obviously got to give it their best shot, but this is not going to be an easy one with Coldzera flanking. Damage to Chris J, but no, a pick given away. And now mousesports have an opportunity to win this one. Taco's dinked down to 4 HP, and if Rops climbs up here, he might be able to spot him on top of the stairs. Tagged and dead. Rops looking for a little bit more, trying to cover Stiko, who can get on that bomb with the kit. They need to move fast, though, because SK still have players in the site. One towards jungle, Fallen and Furbo far away, but Stiko stuck the bomb in all of the Manders. He'll get out with the round. And mistakes made from SK.
Mistakes made indeed. Obviously, the initial plan is, or the plan of the entire time is actually to playing off of Coldzera, who buys up the P250 there. And you see with the utility they put down, the entire goal is to get as many people towards jungle, clear out that area as they plan for catwalk, and basically play off the afterplant. And that's the kind of situation you can play at a man deficit as well. And I think that's going through the head of SK as well as they do it. But Coldzera kind of thinking he could get the drop on Chris J as Chris J gets spotted dropping down from catwalk is what really gets him in, because he's not able to win the duel. Ooh. And all of the pressure on SK side just immediately disappears and allows for the remaining Wrestlers members to focus on the bomb site.
I do like this buy though from SK. They put together 2 rifles with obviously the bomb plant money from the previous, but unfortunately enough, they lose Fallen and one unarmored player straight away. Sunny catches him in the B push, the underpass.
It's cool to seeing these kind of buys make more of a resurgence into CSGO. Obviously something we saw more of in both Source and 1.6 in the past. Seeing especially teams like Na'Vi keen on doing this, especially it doesn't hurt when you have a player of Simple's caliber to kind of just go around doming people's heads. Speaking of doming, Coldzera finds the first frag on SK's side for that round, but not before 2 players have gone down on the SK side. It remains to be seen what Taco and Coldzera can do here.
Well, the one good thing is they have smoke, so they can go for a standard execute towards A with these 3 players. And if mousesports plays passive, as we saw them on the pistol, potentially this bomb can go down. The issue is Rops can challenge. He's towards towards a site, triple box. So these smokes will start to go over. Molly under Balk. Rops a bit of an off angle here. He moves himself into the ninja position. This could be so good. If he can just get 1 kill here, this would really put a hole in SK's attack. Sunny's not even smoked off as well. That goes towards a connector. So there's Rops' first frag. Knowing Taco's going to come out, he waits for the flash and it's perfect. 2 kills from Rops. Trade, but it doesn't even matter because mousesports are still in control. 9 rounds here on the CT side. SK's force goes nowhere.
Yeah. Solidly played from the side of mousesports. SK kind of running into the same issue that we saw mousesports do in one of their hits towards A. They just kind of get staggered, stuck in both A halls and towards pit there. Taco in a position where even though he has utility, he's not really at an angle to smoke off spawn because he's in apps. And with 1 smoke already down towards connector / jungle, it doesn't really make sense for him to re-smoke that. But it does make it so much harder for SK to get out on the bomb side, especially when they kind of announce their presence there with the Molly under balcony and also Taco spamming through.
Well, just pistols this time for SK, so they'll set up towards B. No flashbang though. Stiko is going to be able to mow down these Glock players, only Cold Zero on a P250 as well, so really not a lot of damage on the side of SK.
Let's go. SK just going to go on contact here.
Stiko's alone as well. He's got no teammates, so he needs a couple of kills. That will do it. Chris J's also found one as he rotates in from short. But a bomb plant from SK, certainly not the worst out of this round. They get a limited investment, but they still get a fairly good reward considering that. Cold Zero now just looking to do damage, but Oscar's got his number. mousesports finally reached double digits, but SK will have a pretty good buy moving forward.
Yeah, that is very true. That bomb plant doing wonders for them. And well, considering mousesports setup, that was a pretty tough task to avoid. Stiko does as good of a job as he could have hoped for, finding 2 frags, also doing a ton of damage on the one player that Chris J finds. But SK going to be happy with that. They do get the op on fall in. It does actually get Kevlar into smoke as well. So now the real test begins for mousesports side, and they haven't necessarily fully bought up into this as well. You can see Rob sitting on an UMP still. Oscar not opting to go for the op. He has a FAMAS in hand. So big opportunities here for SK to get right back into the swing of things.
Definitely so, but Rops is already hungry for a kill, pushed down towards ramp. SK playing contact out of the palace. This is a ballsy play to go for on their rifle round, but it could catch mousesports off guard. Rops still on the ramp. They haven't cleared him just yet. The smoke's still down. Fur trying to spray desperately, but Rops gets 2 kills. Now he can grab the AK as well, so even better equipped and stuck behind SK means that they have got to watch their backline as well. mousesports players flooding in from all positions here. SK in a really tough spot. Cold Zero needs to come in through the connector if he wants to get anything done, but Fallen's just trying to get rid of Rops. It's not that easy. 3 kills for him. As he looks for another one, it's swung back into SK's favor, a 2v2. Cold Zero's flank does result in a frag, and Taco picks up 2 on the bomb site as well. Now Chris J is the one watching his backline, because Cold Zero just still sits passively in middle. Chris J drops a bomb on the site, but with plenty of time, now we have Cold Zero in a clutch. And who else would you want on SK's side? Chris J sitting here on the bomb site, trying to force the kill. Damage done. Oh, he's going for even more. That's a ballsy peek from Chris. And Cold Zero is going to win the Angel. So SK, they pull it back from a huge deficit.
That is pretty incredible. I guess you kind of get what you deserve. mousesports bringing 1 round back on their T side in a pretty hopeless situation now. SK giving them a taste of their own medicine. Definitely, obviously, around that, mousesports should be able to win. But yeah, extremely well done from Cold Zero and Taco there. You could see that Fallen was just kind of trying to delay for time as much as possible to allow for Cold Zero to get into position without necessarily having to run through underpass, giving up his position and so on. So even though he just rattles off a couple of shots into nowhere and then eventually gets taken down by Rops, it's still a solid play because he spent so much time just keeping mousesports players at bay behind smokes or behind cover that it actually gives them a fighting chance. Very well done there.
This game close as ever, 10-9 as we expected this to be.
Yeah.
But mousesports, what can they put into this round? It's going to be a couple of AWPs. We've got Chris J on that now for the first time this map. Stiko is limited in terms of an MP9, but everyone else is okay. Bit of utility lack, but other than that, mousesports don't have too bad of a buy considering the situation.
Yeah. It's not like SK's buy is going to be perfect either. You see Scout coming out on the side of Fallen. Bolts just rocking a Galil. No utility whatsoever. So definite opportunities here. Sadly for Stiko with the MP9, everyone on SK has head armor outside of Fallen. Still though, he does play a position that does allow you to get pretty close angles, so should still be a viable weapon in this kind of scenario. And SK just sitting up very passively here, waiting for the renowned mousesports aggression, which we haven't really seen too much of up to this point. But SK definitely aware. Well, Fur and Taco sneaking their way up towards underpass, making their steps closer to Sunny, who's kind of jumped up into ladder room from mid. Very little utility used actually on the side of SK considering what they started with here. Just going very dry into mid, being given that control for free.
mousesports are going to give it to them, expecting maybe some kind of fight in window. Sunny's posted. Oscar's also there on a crossfire. That's a missmoked, and that's important because now they have none left. So instead of smoking window, they'll boost into it, but Sunny is ready and waiting. Kill to Fur. Knows Taco's there as well due to the boost, but he's not going to go for the fight. Taco instead moves towards the connector. mousesports double CT control as well. Sunny, a second frag as he drops back into the window room, only to return to ladder. And Stiko mows down the bomb in apartments. mousesports have just shut down SK. Not 1 point of damage done by the T side in that round. mousesports, perfect.
Yeah, perfect is definitely the accurate description there. And that one smoke that misses in window just sets off the avalanche, really. That is the demise of SK. Allows for Sunny to pick up the first frag onto Fur with no contest whatsoever. Obviously allows him to spot Taco as he rotates away as well, which gives him the perfect drop on him as Taco tries to find any sort of connections in connector.
Now back to B for SK with all 5 players.
And a bit of a weird buy here.
Yeah.
AK coming out on Fur.
No armor though.
Yeah, exactly.
Does he realize? Let's find out. He's not going to drop it over to anyone else. They'll actually just try and execute. Well, execute. That's coming from Stiko. 2 kills on the Galil picked up from the body of SK last round. And yeah, this buy has gone nowhere for SK again. mousesports keep 5 alive. 4 kills from Stiko. He finally upgrades. He's moved from an MP9 to a Galil and then a Galil to AK. So kind of SK to gift that to him.
Man, you know, patience is a virtue, and Stiko just holding on to that MP9, being faithful, is rewarded in the end with a 4K and a free AK. For SK, I'm not really sure what went into that buy, why they opted to do so, especially because you had 3 players on their side buying up with Head Kevlar and CZs, and Fur just rocking a bare AK. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, especially if you're not going to just... You could have easily dropped that AK off to one of the guys with armor, let him go first, see if you can find that opening frag, and maybe you can do something off of that. It's completely depleted the reserves of SK as well, so even if they are to, you know, get something out of this round, even with a bomb plant, it's going to be, you know, leaving them with a not optimal buy by any means.
Yeah, and this round is not one where we expect too much from the Ts. Obviously, it's just P250s and Glocks again, and mousesports have had no issue with these anti-ecos so far this map.
Remains to be the case as well.
Only 1 kill from SK, but here's the buy. Here's where things get interesting now, because say mousesports get this round, and I mean, they're going to be on 14. SK will be forcing up on near max loss bonus, 4 rounds loss bonus, so 2,900. They need a bomb plant at the very least, SK, and even then, it's suboptimal, right? They'll have 3,800 going into the next round, and, you know, it's not enough.
Yeah, that is the problem. Here we see that, you know, the buy isn't that great. Sure, they have 3 smokes to work with, but only 1 Molotov to really clear out any angles. And obviously they're going to have to use quite a few of these smokes in their actual execute towards a bomb site, or just to get mid-control if that's what they want to do. Luckily, though, for them, Fallen is able to find Oscar going aggressively in B-apps. So maybe, well, with that second frag onto Sunny as well, that's clear out the entire bomb site. But seeing how they haven't found Stiko, who's been the resident camper pretty much on that B-bomb site, they're not going to decide to go for it. Probably expecting him to be hidden in a corner. And, well, mousesports in a situation now where they've just stacked up on the A bomb site, probably just expecting to save at this point. And if SK just happens to run into them, then that could be all they need. Bomb is actually dropped as well in a really awkward position here. This gives Stiko potential to actually find an easy frag here.
The issue is mousesports don't actually know. So yeah, they hold this ramp, but they have no idea where the bomb is. SK still going to commit towards A, assuming mousesports have rotated players to B. This is a big gamble here for mousesports, but it's about to pay off. A triple wrap through the connector. Taco trying to find Rops. A wallbang comes in, but he's traded by Stiko, and that's the bomb dropped.
Yes.
Now Chris J can come in for support. Well, SK have the time to at least contest with this bomb. They're going to have to move quickly. 30 seconds left on the clock. Cold Zero finds Chris J up in the Palace, and now they're going to split from both ramp and Palace to try and get this bomb back in their hands. Stiko's got to go big. Second kill from him as he finds the headshot to Cold Zero, and a Molotov still to delay. If he throws this and runs away, he could easily win this round. SK might not have the time for this. I think he's realized that. He's stopped them from picking it back up. He's run back to try and contest on the bomb site. He'll get there before them. Fallen has to get this entry. They don't even need to worry about the bomb plant. They need the kill because Stiko's playing the site. 9 seconds left. They don't know he's here. Fallen drops the bomb. Stiko, yes, he does it! 4 frags! And mousesports will pick it up in a 3v5. Fallen's heroics will only go so far.
That is one very lucky on mousesports' end, but also extremely well done. Stiko just having pretty much perfect movement and decision making in that kind of a scenario. You mentioned it as well. If he puts down that Molotov on the bomb, he knows that there's only one option for SK. You know, in order to get back to the site, they have to dive for that bomb. That's going to give him time to actually rotate back off of the site. And he solves that brilliantly. I'm actually really surprised considering how much time was left on the bomb on the timer there that Fallen actually pulls out the bomb in hope of a bomb plant.
I think they just expect him to be in Palace and to be playing a late round thing, so he hears the bomb plant, he goes for the fight, but no. Stiko with a good read, and now SK with an A-side attack. But 2 entries with it. Limited buy, but they get a lot out of it. Rop's going to look for a kill, but he gives away his position with a falling sound. Fur trying to get aggressive, and I mean, they only have pistols here, but these are so good at this kind of position. Fur can easily take down Rops if he doesn't stay aware. Reposition on the corner of Ticket, and SK hold on to the 2-man advantage, but hey, Vendetta, we've seen this before from mousesports. We've seen a 3v5 just seconds ago. However, they'll need to speed things up because SK are not giving them any options. Fur, another kill with that CZ75, removes the head of Stiko. Rops is going to get overrun. Fur's on 3 kills with the CZ right now. Oscar's got a save, and SK find 10 rounds off the back of a force.
Yeah, so pretty much nearly a majority of the kills for Fur that entire game just coming in one fell swoop. It's really impressive from SK, but you also have to go question what the hell was mousesports doing there with the 2 players in CT spawn. So afraid of actually just doing anything about Fur. Can't remember who it was, but one of the mousesports members actually just opting to go for jump peaks as well.
Yeah, it's a bit optimistic, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
And in that kind of position as well, Fur's always going to hit that shot, even if you're jumping, right? He still has full accuracy. He's the one on the ground.
Exactly. You just give pretty much, first if you're giving away a ton of information as to where you are, and also you're giving him multiple opportunities to just get a ton of damage in. And he's going to take that every single day. He's not had a great game, but still a great player. And Sunny wants to do him in, gets his revenge that round. So man advantage going in the favor of mousesports.
Oh, and Cold Zero's dropped Chris J. Does he realize that Sunny's still here, though? Oscar's realized they're up on A, and he's going to try and back off. Sunny does drop that mid player, so Cold Zero dead, and Oscar a 1-for-1 trade. Fake plant on the site, and it baits out Rops to peak, so Taco takes the head off. Now SK in a 2v2. They've done a great job of getting themselves into this situation, considering the fight in middle not going their way. But that leaves Stiko and Sunny to rotate back into the site. Stiko flashed off, and SK getting into the optimal post plants. They've got a crossfire. They need this kill as well. Fallen doesn't even opt to fight it. Flash to follow. He's going to go for the peak, but Sunny's naded him, and now it's a 1v2. Taco's got to force his first kill because he knows a player's coming from behind. Does take Stiko down, and now Sunny with no kit, running out of time, has to make this happen, and he does. Kit on the site as well, but he doesn't even need it. mousesports find map point.
Find map point, also find the reset button on SK's economy. Yeah, SK do get a bomb plant in. Yeah, they did manage to win that pistol buy, so they will have money here, actually. But as you can see, Taco being the one in for a bit of a rough buy.
And the crazy thing is as well, if you look at the scoreboard for mousesports, the 2 players who, not to say they can't step up, but don't always sit at the top of the board, are doing amazingly. Sunny at 25 kills, Stiko at 20 kills, playing a more supportive role. You know, we're usually looking to Oscar, who's got 14 frags right now, and Rops, who is of course on 21 as always, to step up. But no, this AWP battle hasn't been working for Oscar, but it doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah, Sunny is actually incredibly consistent on this map. So, gonna get a piece of the caster's curse there as he goes down to Fallen and Enter Fast, but it seems like Sunny and just having solid performances on Mirage is pretty much a given at this point. Ooh, that's a quick kill from Fallen.
How does he hit that? He's 9 HP and Chris J can't find the shot. That's insane. Bolt's going to get caught coming out of the ramp, but Taco times it well again on the trade. SK back into the man advantage, but that will only go so far because Oscar's peeked up on the top of stairs, aggressive as ever. May only be on 14 kills, but he's still going to be confident. 2 players left for either side now. Smoke out for Stiko as he can't contest his connector. And SK very scared of where mousesports could be now. Cold Zero just holding on with the bomb, waiting. Fallen making sure they're not going for the long flank up through T-spawn. And I mean, the pressure really is on Cold here. Fallen's still low, despite that shot earlier. You know, next fight should be mousesports if they fight Fallen, but they won't. Cold Zero gets the kill, and now Fallen can come and join him. They can expect Stiko having rotated off of B, and with the bomb being planted now and Fallen having the cross, Cold Zero doesn't need to fight here. Stiko's got to move and worry about the ramp firstly. This should be SK's round. It will require a lot from Stiko, and yeah, Cold Zero is just going to take the peak. SK up to 11 rounds, trying to claw this one back.
I really are. Kind of curious about what had Oscar wanting to actually jump on top of Ticket there to try to spot in. It could have held a much safer angle, just sitting next to the boxes, and been pretty all right, really, with how things played out. Did have Stiko nearby and connector, if anyone were to push him close. Nonetheless, SK do find that 11th round. They're still, very much on the ropes here. It's going to be an eco round from mousesports, but they have quite the cushion to work with here. So this is just mousesports playing it safe, as they should. Fur finds the opening on Sunny.
Yeah, it's a pin B. It may actually force him to opt to go towards this B bomb site, which would give him a lot of info considering mousesports have stacked A.
Yeah, well, we've seen SK make this mistake once already.
Yeah.
Finding 2 openings on B, still thinking Stiko was there, opting to run into that 3-man stack on the A bomb side, albeit different weaponry this time on the mousesports side. Not quite the same as we saw earlier.
Yeah, and with mousesports not fighting towards connector or peeking it from the site as well, SK are getting an idea going, okay, A might be clear here. Fallen's trying to get some info, but no one's fighting here for Mouse. SK, again, might walk into this stack. The luckily part is the bomb is actually under their control this time. mousesports shouldn't be able to win this round, but if SK go for this, they might lose a couple of players in the process. There's one. Oscar takes down Bolts. If he can grab that AK as well, it'll give him something to work with considering he has armor. But SK, they want nothing to do with that. They'll just rally back towards the B-bomb site where mousesports have no presence.
Yeah, for a long time there, it looked like SK were really wanting to go towards that A-bomb site. One of the issues they would have ran into was the fact that they had no Molotovs left, so they wouldn't have been able to force mousesports out of position either. Well, they do wise up, and now 2v4 situation. Oscar's already gotten an AK though. He might just want to go for a couple of extra kills here, seeing how they will be able to buy up regardless of what happens in this round.
The money's okay for him as well. He's got 6k, so you know, no worries at all. Obviously a saved AK would just give a bit of a boost, and with Taco damaging him even with the kill from Oscar, he's definitely going to save. Needs to move from here though, because underpass will kill him with the bomb, especially with being this low HP. I'm sure he realizes that though.
I'm actually surprised at the fact that he's opting to go this route as well.
Yeah.
That's asking for danger. He's heard the footsteps from Cold Zero as well. Oh, he's going to get taken out. So what would have been a free AK for Stiko there going into the next round? It's going to amount to nothing. Well, already the immediate buy coming out from Oscar. He spent quite a bit of cash here. Well, remains to be seen if mousesports can deal with this. Obviously, they're still going to have the opportunity to get one more buy-in, even if they were to lose this one. But obviously, you want to close out SK as soon as possible, not have the tradition stay true of SK always managing to claw their way back from massive deficits.
This has got to be just a straight-up B rush, though, because look, Taco's gone for the Mach 10. Even though knowing mousesports will certainly have a buy here, that's the thing. He's confident that maybe their money's only half good, so there's going to be no head armor. He can run and go on with a Mach 10, get opening kills.
And look at, you know, it's only Stiko towards that B bomb side, and he's got an MP9.
He needs to call for support. Chris J's up on short. He can rotate into position, but Stiko's been spotted. Taco's going to run for it. Mach 10 versus MP9. We see the winner there, but still the entry comes onto Chris. He's not going to be able to rotate up, so SK get the bomb site. mousesports very far removed from this position, got to consider the save, and if a pick doesn't come their way, then yeah, that's it. mousesports holding on to guns.
This is just 100% a save. No real utility really to speak of here on the mousesports side. No kits either, which is obviously the big factor here in this play. And once again, it's similar to what we saw happen to SK as well. Once they gamble towards mid and A with those 4 players, just having a solo B defender, you have no real chance of actually setting up for a retake, because the likelihood of Stiko being able to find more than one frag there is extremely unlikely. He does, you know, to be fair, a very decent job doing a lot of damage to bolts, but you know, at that point, the entirety of the SK team has moved so far up into B apps that they're going to be all over the site. There's no realistic chance of mousesports fighting back into that.
Yeah, I mean, making the gamble of not only putting one player, but the player who's not equipped for that fight up on B is just mousesports.
Yep.
You know, risking it and it not going in their favor. The thing is, it's unlikely SK are going to continue to run that. So realistically, Stiko can go back towards B alone with an MP9, and they can assume that SK aren't going to continue to run that strat. You would hope.
Yeah, no, I mean, it wouldn't be. I mean, we saw SK kind of staying true to that. The fact that even though we saw a couple of hits towards the B bomb side, SK were adamant about not necessarily giving Taco more support towards that side, even though you know, it is a tough gig to hold it solo.
Definitely.
But yeah, I don't blame mousesports for if they were to go back to the same kind of thing. I do like the fact that they haven't necessarily bought up too much either going into this round. You see Chris J has bought a 5.7 Stiko back on that MP9. Only player really with well, a severe lack of money is Sunny. So a potential last round buy isn't going to be actually that great for mousesports here. He is a bit low, but well, I would rather see this from mousesports though than just buying up with whatever they could for this round, because it wouldn't be that much better.
Yeah, and then they literally just have lost bonus to work off of, which not really enough even when it's maxed out on the CT side. You need a couple of rounds. That's why you need these ecos, especially on CT. But as you say, holding on to some cash and holding on to no utility. It's going to be mousesports with a smoke and a flash left up and no kits either. So if a bomb goes down, then surely we're going to see some form of save from mousesports.
Yeah, you would assume so. And well, mousesports right now, we haven't seen nearly any of this aggression that was mentioned, you know, at the start of the broadcast, which is a bit curious, especially now in a situation where they don't have the utility to necessarily hold back SK and, you know, try to play for the time running out or anything like that. You'd imagine that they did go aggressive to find some sort of information to kind of clear out SK and just get some sort of information at any given point of the map. They don't have the utility to necessarily fight their way up anywhere, up mid for instance, but kind of have to take risks in this scenario. And Stico gets caught out by Taco. Sunny's in a really good position here. He's going to deny this bomb plant at the very end, not able to find that second kill onto Cold Zero though. And well, Chris J, surprisingly aggressive actually, considering how far away his teammates were. I'm not really sure what the intent was there. But as you mentioned, players towards that A bomb site, they only really have one option in this scenario, and that's to hold on to their weapons. And SK are obviously fully aware of this, so they're going to go hunting immediately.
I think one of the big things as well is we've not really seen Oscar in a position where he can get work done with this AWP. You know, SK haven't been putting pressure on middle a lot of the time when Oscar's been there. It's been, you know, him towards A and SK constantly taking this B site through either short or through the apartment. So Oscar's not getting a chance to open up rounds like we know. And obviously, while you say, you know, we should be seeing some aggression from mousesports, that's what we know them for in this half. But despite that, SK are not running into Oscar. So with him not being able to get 1 or 2 picks at the start of the round to pull them into a great position, you know, it's hard for mousesports to be winning these CT rounds. And Oscar does a great job at saving and getting a couple of kills on the exit, but money's not a factor for SK. They can afford to chase as much as they want. Money, however, is a factor for mousesports. They haven't got a lot of it.
No, they really did. Well, they really didn't. And the fact that Robson and Oscar are able to hold on to their weapons allows them to drop an op for Chris J. And also an additional Colt there. So they will actually get a pretty decent buy going until the last round off the back of that. Oh, mousesports deciding to take a pause here. Talk things over. Obviously, you want to be able to close SK out. We know what happens when SK make it back to overtimes and that kind of stuff. It's history repeating itself over and over again.
And again, mousesports 15-14 with 2 pistol rounds and the conversions taken into account. Not only did the SK get the bomb plant on the pistol and force up second, which mousesports also won, so they got 6 rounds for free, on the mousesports side. Obviously, you know, not really for free, but in terms of rifle rounds, it's been SK all across the board here, taking these on the T side, looking fantastic as always. And yeah, overtime already for the first map, looking very possible. It's 15-14, mousesports tactical pause about to expire, and we're going to see what they can throw into this potential last round. 2 AWPs, as you say. The save is pivotal, so it allows for the Molotovs and the kits, and this is pretty much a full buy versus a full buy. Exactly what we want to see.
Yeah, and well, considering the positioning from mousesports, we're not going to see any aggression here right now either. And it kind of makes sense now they're finally on full utility. They pretty much have the perfect setup to do what they want, and only feel like playing passively here is going to be the way to go. SK, though, with the same setup as previous rounds, only one really peering towards anything is for an underpass, expecting someone to drop down there. And to be fair, we have seen one instance of Sunny playing aggressively in that underpass area. Yeah, SK just not willing to take any chances. They know what mousesports can do.
And so confident towards B again. I said at 15-12, surely they won't rush B 3 rounds in a row. And it seems like they're set up for it, right? They've got the bomb in apartments. They've got all players on that side of the map holding for the aggro A push the mousesports like to do up towards ramp with Rops and Oscar commonly. But, you know, it's not coming through yet for SK. However, they're still poised to do so. Mousesports have to be very, very careful if they're running this solo B setup. But look at Oscar's rotation.
Yeah. But what's really cool, though, is the fact that SK Gaming haven't moved an inch pretty much since the start of the round, but they've already been able to waste so much utility on the side of mousesports. Look at them. They have 1 Molotov left to hold anyone back. Stico, for instance, over towards that B bomb site, gets flashed once by Skyroof Flash and just immediately drops his smoke. And there's no reaction for SK whatsoever.
Yeah, Sunny naded as well up in window, so You know, SK about to walk into B. Oscar's rotated, luckily enough, and Sunny does catch Fur walking through the smoke. A big issue there now for SK. They have to rely on this push, but Oscar's there, and this is the man we need on the B-bomb site. 2 kills of the AWP, shutting down SK, expecting the third towards short, and he'll hit it as well. Oscar looking to shut down this round, and while he does go down, he's still done his job. 6 seconds left is not enough as Stico finishes off the map, and mousesports take it 16-14 on Mirage. What a performance.
Just barely scraping by there towards the end, but we finally got to see Oscar being, part of the action there on the CT side. It took a while, but, those who wait for something good. And that's going to be an overall impressive showing from mousesports there. Obviously, you mentioned the fact that they did get both pistols, which definitely was a massive factor in this game, but, overall felt they played a pretty good game. SK, on the other hand, definitely had some mistakes made on both sides.
Yeah, and Fur as well, struggling like we talked about a little bit. His CT aggression was kind of caught off. He got a bit scared towards the latter stage of the CT half to get aggressive and to get those picks that we know him to do as well. So a bit of an issue for SK, but we did say coming into this matchup, if this is going through maps, Mirage will have to be mousesports. Yeah. Moving forward to Cobble, SK should be confident.
Yeah, no, they definitely should. And considering in the manner SK lost, I think they feel like they should have been able to win this. The fact that they make it this close with 2 lost pistols, and obviously some pretty basic mistakes on their end. Yeah, they should be pretty confident in the fact that they should be able to take this to a third.
Yeah, obviously mousesports played Cobble yesterday up against VP. They did get 19 rounds, but it was VP with 22 who took that away in the series. The only map the VP won in that best of 3, obviously, that put mousesports in the 1-0 bracket. And if they went 2-0 as well, if they managed to take the second or even third map on mousesports side and went 2-0, that'd be a really impressive feat. Because obviously we talk about them getting very deep in tournaments, but not quite being able to break into consistent victories, I would say. So for them going 2-0, beating the likes of both VP, obviously a big question mark on that team, and SK, that'd be great. But again, like we've been saying, and like you've especially been saying, Vendetta, SK, a team that never gives up until the matchup is over.
Yeah. So still big task at hand for mousesports, but they got off to the start that they needed. And obviously you can't ask for anything more. And it's still, even if SK do pick up Cobble, going into third map, that's going to be Inferno. I'm not, I can't feel too confident about SK on that map, just because we've seen so varied performances from them at so many times. So yeah. Definitely chances here for mousesports, and as we see the best performing players on both sides. And well, I say both sides, but it's only one instance of an SK player here, and that's Cold0 on 30 frags. But yeah, Sunny sitting on 27. Oscar actually getting up to 23. And we talked about how it felt like he was pretty quiet, but just steadily picking up a frag here and there, obviously ending the game in a pretty spectacular fashion. But Sunny, yeah, once more putting up an excellent performance on Mirage.
This is such a superstar roster for mousesports, right? The budget phase we say, but
yeah.
I mean, maybe not for too long. They're improving leaps and bounds every single time, and now moving forward to a second map with a 1-0 advantage. Mousesports poised perfectly to take this series, but it is a real question mark. Moving forward to Cobble, what would you say is the win condition for mousesports?
Win condition, it's hard to say. Obviously, we saw great performances from kind of the supporting cast, if you'd like to call it that, on the mousesports side. And even then, Oscar managed to get into the fray of things towards the end. But I think, again, it's going to be a boring answer, but Oscar is obviously going to be pivotal. And I also think, Chris J can catch a lot of people off guard because he's also putting himself into a lot of entry frag roles here. After he's become an in-game leader, we saw it on Mirage as well, kind of being the first man up on the A bomb site, trying to either create space or find those openings. And if you can do that with success, obviously that's going to be a massive gain for mousesports.
Well, either way, we're going to be going for a short break. We'll be back with Cobblestone, the second map of the series, to see if mousesports can take this victory or if SK want to play Inferno. We'll see you soon.
Lucbet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join Lucbet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.